Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly energy reading with Spiritual Side Reiki and Tarot. My name's Sarah. I'm going to do a general reading for the collective and see what resonates with you. I'm going to shuffle the deck 3 times, and then when I split the deck, I'll just ask that you have a question or thought or something you need clarity or guidance on in your mind. Just keep that in your mind's eye there. And then we'll call our spirit guides and the divine with love and light and see what kind of messages are out there in the ethers this week. See what kind of things we can connect with. Like I say every week, take 2 or 3 messages away with you that resonate with you, and you can start applying them into your daily life and see what things transpire. Past, present. Okay, we're starting with some serious major arcanas. Wow, right off the gate. Wow, loaded. Like significant amount of them. More major arcanas than minor arcanas, and the majors I always associate with your soul journey. So the minors is that day-to-day life that we get fixated in the ego-based human notion. But when you look at the major arcanas, it's like the architecture, the masterpiece of your life, the fulfillment, the purpose, the guiding goal that you came here to do. So the underlying card today is the Devil card. So with the Devil, just remember it's about being restricted by something, feeling bound to something. It could be associated with addictions from time to time. And remember, addictions aren't just recreational items or alcohol. It could be addictions to thoughts. It could be addictions to people. It could be addictions to patterns or behavior. I know right now in the cosmic collective, the astrologers are talking a lot about transcending all of that, transcending those old patterns, those old stories, the things that we brought with us here and now. So just really allowing yourself to be at peace with your situation. And right now, even just allowing your inner higher self to take the wheel for a little bit, because let's go through this reading and see what we have. And that's funny, like I said, the Devil cards here at the bottom is maybe break free from that. Let yourself just transcend a little bit. Stop being in control of things so much. We're in the Canadian front here. We're on a Thanksgiving weekend. So I know for a lot of people that means getting together with family. There may be different complexities that you have in your family relationship that may, cause some tension or some issues or something. But maybe it's time you just allowed yourself to just surrender to that and just accept what is and not try to control it so much or be controlled by the situation. Our emotions sometimes are on repeat, and just like a pattern develops, by constantly going in one direction, our emotions can too. So it could feel very much like we're holding or being held back or holding back. So let the Devil card allow for you to just release a little bit. Maybe allow something to complete a cycle. So just keeping that in mind. When we go into our past card, we have the Justice card. This is one of my favorite cards. So Justice card represents that justice has been served. Justice has happened. There is something that maybe wasn't in alignment before and you couldn't quite figure out why. And then all of a sudden a revelation happens or a situation unfolds that finally brings it justice, brings some fairness to the scenario. So even if it's shedding a little bit of a light, somebody's saying something and tweaking somebody's thoughts to a certain way where it's becoming more fair, there's more balance to it. You can see she's sitting there with her scales and balancing everything. So I think this is a really significant card looking at all the other cards in the spread, because it finally shows that there's been a shift in something. So whether it's a thought, an action, a person, a situation, it's just showing that there's been something, some clarity, or something that you've become victorious over, that you have allowed to now shift things. I'm coming into my present card, one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's the Sun card. So the Sun card is representative of new beginnings, of vitality, of growth, of children, of innocence, of anything that is associated with that beautiful sun. So those warm feelings, and this is a nice time, especially if you're in a family, to enjoy those that you like being around. Maybe you don't see them as often as you'd like to. Just really soak into those moments, like you're soaking in some sun. Really be there, be present in the moment. Allow things to lighten up a little bit instead of maybe being so hard and like this guy's keeping us, holding us back. Allow that sun to just shine through and just warm everybody up. This is a beautiful time of year. The color orange associated in the navel chakra, which is, you know, allowing for creation and abundance and all of these wonderful things. So your present's looking pretty good. So if you're in that moment right now, you're in that state right now, just enjoy that, because your future, you've got the star card. We have a full moon tonight, a full moon in Aries. Happy full moon, everyone. This is a great time to make a wish and set an intention that you've maybe tried to set before, but realizing that it's actually maybe a good time just to allow. And like I said, I used the word surrender before, but just put it out there and believe it. So the star card is very much a clarity card too. It's the wish card. So don't be afraid to really dream and keep dreaming and feeling like what makes you feel alive and what makes you feel happy. And putting that out there into the universe. It's a really strong time. I always like to do a clarifier on the future card just to kind of see maybe what better direction we can move into in terms of making the wish. So I'm just going to pull a little card over our star card. Wow, the High Priestess. Very nice. I'm only going to pull one because that's enough said. The High Priestess is your inner intuition, your wisdom, all that stuff that sits inside of your higher self. All the direction that you even have to do is going inside of yourself and listening within. So I would say at this point, if you are getting into different things like healing energies or healing practices or something that's tapping into your higher self, less of this 3D, like physical dimensional of work and bills and you know, thing, but really going on a deeper level and understanding like your own intuition and your own, you know, energy field and how you connect with others on a deeper level, you know, on a level that's not surface or superficial, but really exuding this higher sense of being. So really ascending. I like the High Priestess. She's probably one of my favorite cards. I have a lot of favorite cards in the tarot, but I associate her obviously as a tarot reader with the High Priestess. And actually in the it's depicted, so this is the Visconti deck, but the Rider deck, which is more of the folk North American version that you see that came popular in the 60s. She's holding the book, the roll of tarot in that. And this one I like to look at as holding the Book of Secrets. So the secrets are all within you. Sometimes you just have to break free from that, like not restrict yourself to say, why am I thinking that? That's not possible. But allow your mind to open and expand and tap into these, you know, hidden energies that we all have within us, and that science is now supporting and saying, yeah, there's more to it than just, you know, X to Y. That's a really bad example, but there's more to it than just how we perceive in our mind. There's more of a connection that can be felt to the earth, to ourselves, to our sentient being, to all of that, and maybe just exploring that and maybe desiring to explore that. Maybe that's the thing that if you're feeling lost right now, that'll help you out of it, is by setting that and looking at that and saying, like, what can I create for myself by just having good intentions, by having good practices, and by tapping into my inner being, instead of trying to always look outward and find the external. So really, that's all majors up there. Really powerful stuff, really powerful stuff happening right now. And your mind, your body, soul. So your mind, you got the Eight of Cups. This one comes up when it's almost to a point where you've kind of exhausted everything, exhausted all avenues. And it's just like, you know what? I can't put more energy and effort into this. It would be better for me to walk away, even though I am leaving something behind, than to stay here and try to salvage what is. So it could be, again, associated with a thought, an action, a situation, a person, but in your mind, you're definitely looking at maybe it's time to just move on from something. Your body, you got the Moon card. So the Moon is, again, a very deeply intuitive, spiritual, soulful card that allows you to explore your shadowy side. So maybe it's a good opportunity to do some journaling today. So maybe with the full moon, you can look at doing some releasing of, you know, things that maybe no longer are serving you or no longer driving you, or you're being passionate about. But definitely it's neat to see the moon card here as we're on an eve of full moon, to basically just remind ourselves that there's always that journey inside that we could be working on as our physical selves here. The soul position, I got the Five of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Pentacles is associated with lack. It's the lack mentality that our ego holds on to, that there's not enough. And yes, of course, in certain situations, there may seem to be, but it's also a very restrictive card. So if we couple that with the Devil card here, you could be just holding yourself back unnecessarily from something by telling yourself something or thinking about something in a certain way. So want to be careful with that, because if that's your soul here, and like I said, I got a lot of majors, so I really do feel like this is a deep soul reading. It's maybe just taking the time to say, you know what can I feel here that doesn't feel like I'm not getting enough, or I'm not getting ahead, or I'm working too hard. How can I put myself in a position to elevate that? Now I'm going to do one clarifier on that, because I do associate that Five of Pentacles a little bit of a negative feeling. It's just, again, it's being in this loop or this pattern of holding yourself back. I'll do a clarifier on there, because I'm not going to worry about it too much, because you have some really great cards in the bottom spread here, which is your situation, your action, and your outcome. So let's see. Oh, wow. The Death card in that 5. Okay. So that just tells you straight away, put an end to those thoughts. Put an end to feeling like that. There's no reason, there's no requirement that you do feel like that. You have to set yourself free from that. So that's a good indicator to me to just say, you know what? Be done with it. You got the 8 of Cups here saying like, let it go, walk away. And then the Death card there that's saying like, cut it off. So anytime you go to those feelings, just try and redirect your thoughts, pivot your thought to something that's maybe a little bit more positive, or a little bit more of what you truly do desire and what you're working towards. So instead of saying, I don't have enough, you can just say, I'm working really hard to get to where I want to be, and shift it and just play with that a little. Again, take 2 or 3 messages that resonate with you and apply them and see where you can get to. So I'm going to carry on with the reading here, but so far I'm feeling like it's a really strong, deep reading. So it's a good chance, again, right after that full moon, to use this week to really put into place some of these visions that you have for yourself. Your situation is the Chariot card. You know what? Like the positive sun that you're in right now, it's showing us to just keep moving forward. The Chariot is a success and a victory card. So it's a major again. And what she's on is her chariot and white horses, and she's moving past times. So it's a lot of moving forward energy on a high level of, again, just realizing that you do have that power to be able to move on and press forward and go ahead. And in a fast pace too. Like she's on her horses, that they're going, they're driving. She's the Empress, okay? He's the Emperor. That's your outcome card. In the middle, you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is a manifesting card. It's business, it's manifesting, it's material, it's profit. It could be anything associated with money, which is obviously why the coin is on there. Curious how you have the 5 of Pentacles in your soul position with the Death card right away saying, you know what, end those thoughts. And then here in your action, you got the Ace of Pentacles. So I think this shit is telling us that we need to start doing something new with the way we look at our finances, the way we look at our money, the way we look at our wealth, just really looking at something new and owning it, because the Emperor, he rules it. He is in control of it. He is in charge of it. So maybe it's, starting a budget, moving towards being more aware or conscious of your spending habits, and giving yourself grace and saying, you know what, I'm here now, but I'm moving towards something that is going to give me a lot more power and a lot more authority over things. So I'm going to do a clarifier on my Emperor just to see if there's any energy that we can take away. Okay, Hermit. Love to see the Hermit. Always, again, another major. Hermit is just to take a step back. So maybe it's just to take a step back from things and start peeling away the layers and figuring out, where can I go from here? The 9 of Pentacles. Okay, she's our Lady Lux. And then we got the Hierophant there. All right, so I'm just going to recap this a little after I tell you a little bit about my 9 of Pentacles. Is looking at the gratitude for things. She's looking at, if she has something, she's enjoying it. She's not leaving it for the good times to come. No, she's taking that candle out and she's burning that, and she's taking that journal out. And I think that's really nice with, again, I go into that full moon doing a little bit of self-healing work, but really appreciating what you have, and not holding on to it for any reason other than to enjoy it right now. Again, that Five of Pentacles in your soul. Don't hold on to it. Don't worry so much about hoarding it or keeping it back, but allow it to be part of your experience, allow it to be part of your daily life so that you can enjoy it and really feel that enjoyment of things. That's what material things are here for us to do anyways. They're here for us to enjoy, right? So it's like, don't save the good china for the company. Use it and enjoy it yourself. You know, this present moment really is where we are. And we got the Hierophant to end this as this card, this reading here. So the Hierophant is that higher education. It's having some authority, it's having some structure, some patriarchy, maybe some religion values. It's really allowing yourself to ascend. So having the High Priestess and the Hierophant in the same reading, to me, I always like to look at that as a spiritual deepening. And there is a lot of spiritual deepening that's happening in this reading with it being so many majors. But I'm going to do a little recap because I've gotten some feedback that people, because I kind of go all over the place because I'm channeling, and I get to these messages that just kind of pop out for me. But I've been asked that, or it's been said to me that the recap is good because it just gives you a little bit more of a direction. So I'm just going to take a look at the cards here, and thanks for bearing with me. It's a little bit of a longer video, even though I feel like I talked really fast this video, but I really want these to be user friendly, and when you watch them, to just really be able to get some quick messages that you can start implementing into your daily life. So I'm just going to absorb the cards for a moment here and get a quick snapshot of how I can leave you with a little bit of a final message here. What I have to say is you can give yourself permission to move forward. Even if you're not complete or ready or feeling like you have the full package yet, I think it's time that you allow yourself that ability to understand that you have weighed everything out and that you are moving towards something much better than maybe you are coming from. Justice has been served. You do have the wish card. You can dream and make wishes. And the only way that you're really going to move forward to any of this goodness and anything is by allowing yourself to, is by releasing and letting go of anything that is truly holding you back. So dig deep within yourself and find some things that spark some imagination and creativity and new beginnings for you, and really take the plunge, because it's a great reading. Got a lot of good luck in this reading with all the majors. So make a wish, and happy full moon in Aries tonight, everyone. And happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadian fans out there. We'll see you next week.